Yeah! Mira, ves el testigo. Ah, tiger.
We're going to go figure out our technical difficulties, but I want to welcome you all to the Naples Zoo, to our alligator bait feeding. My name is Jessica, and then Kristen will be joining us shortly. As you can see, our alligators are definitely interested today, so that's always good. Hopefully they'll work themselves up, and they'll come up and we'll do a hand feeding for all of you today. Now, as I get started, there we go, I'm on now. Everybody hear me? I don't have to scream at you anymore?
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we get started, a few things I want to make very clear. That Kristen and I are trained to be out here this close to these alligators. Kristen is specifically trained to hand feed these animals. So at no point in time should any of you ever attempt to do something like this on your own out in the wild. It is very dangerous for you, and it's also illegal here in the state of Florida. It is illegal to harass, to possess, or to kill the American alligator, and you can suffer some very serious consequences. Everything from expensive monetary fines to even jail time. You can go to jail in the state of Florida for tampering with these animals in the wild. So certainly we want all of you that are here on vacation to have a good time, and for those of you that are residents like we are, well, you all should know better by now than to tamper with wild alligators. Now here in our bay we have 17 American alligators, and in the wild you're going to find them throughout the southeastern portion of the United States. They start about the borderline of North Carolina and Virginia, that state border, all the way down this eastern seaboard, wraps around the state of Florida, and they are found as far west as Texas. Now here in Florida we have over 1 million alligators, which is very good for their numbers and their population, and in fact they're having equally high numbers throughout their range, so they're doing just fine. But that wasn't always the case for this animal. The American alligator at one point in time was an endangered species. Back in the 1970s, the fashion industry was very popular with alligator skin products, like alligator belts and bags and shoes and purses. Just about any type of leather product you can think of that could be made from their hides was done. And it was very profitable and it was very valuable. So the fashion industry did exploit this animal heavily until the point where the government did have to step in and protect these animals. Now once they were placed on the endangered species list, their numbers recovered very nicely and they're doing just fine today. However, their cousin, the American crocodile, is not doing so well. That animal is still an endangered species and their numbers are far lower than the alligator, and they are protected by law. Now the alligator is still protected. Although it's not an endangered species, it is still protected to avoid any confusion. That's because the alligator and the crocodile do look so much alike. Now I know a lot of people use those terms interchangeably. Alligator, crocodile, don't really think much difference, that they're very different animals. But they are